Hey guys, yo, what is up? Welcome to this free training video on how to sell profitable websites. So how to sell websites in a way where you're actually making money, you're working with good clients, and you're running a profitable web design business. My name is Robert Work. I'm going to be running this training. We're going to do it the old school way. I'm going to show you some slides and I'll be here in the corner. And I'm going to walk you through everything that you need to know to go out there straight away and do this. An interesting thing is, over the years, I've taught this to a lot of people and you don't need that much experience or hardly any experience to get started. So if you know anything about websites right now, that's already enough to do this. And you're going to see why that is as I go through this. I'm not your typical web designer. I don't focus on design and colors and fonts and the latest trends and all this sort of stuff. While of course you do have to make a good looking website, that's a very, very small part of making money with web design. And instead, we're going to cover the real skills here that you need to make money, which is the business skills, it's the strategy, it's the mindset. So I want to say that straight up because I know there's a lot of training out there and a lot of content out there that focuses on the technical side of web design, the colors, how it looks, all those sort of things. And again, it's important, but you can learn that anywhere. You can learn it for free on YouTube, and it doesn't make a difference, I think, when it comes to actually making money with web design. You got to know the business side of web design if you want to turn it into a profitable business. So with that out of the way, I want to cover a little bit about who I am, just to give some context to this training, give you my backstory, and then we can jump straight into it. So a little bit about me, and I just want to give this as context. It's important when you're learning online that you know who you're learning from, and also that you know it's proven to work. I want you guys to go out there and have confidence in what I'm going to teach you, and you're not going to have that if you don't know that it works, that it's proven to work, that it has worked for me, that it's worked for other people. So I'm going to run through my backstory pretty fast, and then we jump into the training. So basically, I'm from Ireland, did a degree in construction engineering. When I graduated in Ireland, there was a massive recession, so I just thought surfing and water sports for a year or two, a lot of fun, but not too much money. And then I seen that there's oil jobs in Canada at the time. So I moved to Canada, worked in oil for 3 years, actually made really good money, but it's a very tough job and I was getting a little bit burnt out. But then there was a recession in Canada as well in the oil industry. So I ended up moving to South America, to Colombia, Bogota, Colombia, and I was living there and it's having a lot of fun. It's a very fun place. There's a lot of parties down there and it's a good place to travel to, but I wasn't making any money there. I was burning through my savings. I didn't speak, good enough Spanish to get a job there, just about enough Spanish to order a beer. Yeah, I needed to start a business. So I started looking online. I was meeting people in Colombia who worked online. I wanted to do something, but I didn't have the money or I didn't want to take the risk investing a lot of money in e-commerce or in property or these things that just require a lot of money up front. And maybe you guys feel the same way when it comes to starting a business. Crypto, property, e-commerce, all these things take so much capital. You got to take so much risk. It just wasn't possible for me at that time. So what I did instead was I looked at what's a business that's low risk or basically no risk and that I can just do using a laptop. So I picked web design kind of randomly, or just I didn't know too much about it. I had no background, I had no experience, I didn't know how to code. I just knew that it would be a simple business to start and that it wouldn't require any money up front. And I'd met one or two web designers down there who were making really good money. I didn't really ask them how they did it. So when I jumped in, I didn't really know what I was doing. So when I started, I just jumped on a freelancing website. I was learning how to set up websites very, very basically. And it didn't go so well, to be honest. The first few months I was selling websites for $100, $200. My only strategy really on freelancing websites to stand out was just to promise more and have a lower price, because the work I was doing, it was just the websites. And we'll get to this, like why there's a way better strategy than what I was doing, but I was just selling the websites, how it looked, the design side of things. And the thing is, nowadays, there's so many ways to make a website that when you're selling just design, you don't get good clients, you don't get good amounts of money, you don't really make a profit. And this is the mistake I was making. So I did this for a few months on freelancing websites, $100, $200, a lot of work, very demanding clients. They wanted a lot of changes. They were never happy. The projects wouldn't seem to finish. It would just go on. And even when it did finish, I would only make a few dollars for all the work that I was doing. So maybe you know how that feels. Maybe you've been in that situation yourself. It's not a fun situation and you definitely don't want to be there in the first place, but you definitely don't want to stay there. So what I did was, after a while, I looked at this and I was like, this isn't working. Like, this is not going in the right direction. Every time I finish a project, I'm straight back in the same situation. My prices can't go up because when they go up, someone else on these websites will just do it for cheaper. Plus, I was looking at the work I was doing. I was like, it's not worth that much because all it is just a website. Like, this website doesn't do much for them. So why would they pay me more money in the first place? So this is when I started to figure out something was wrong with my strategy, and that if I wanted to make money with this, I had to think about things in a total different way. I had to have a completely different approach to how I was selling websites, who I was working with, and what these websites were doing for their business. So I did switch up my strategy, and that is what we're going to cover in this video, what I started doing instead, which is a way better approach. It's way more profitable. But to just finish out my story, when I switched up the strategy, the very first sale that I got was for $2,000. This is for an immigration lawyer in Canada, Roxanne. I knew her because I was doing some visa stuff for Canada. Built a website for her, went super well, and I'll get into why it went so well as we get through this training. Massively helped her business, and she was super happy to pay me $2,000, which at that time, I've been doing all these websites for like $100, $200. That was just like a huge jump for me. I was like, oh wow, I can actually make this work. I can actually make money with this. So after that project went well and I started to see why it went so well, and I was using this new strategy, very quickly was able to get other projects for like $6,000, $8,000, $10,000. And within a couple of months, I'd actually got up to doing $20,000 per project. So this is like 100 times increase, going from $200 earlier in the year to around September that year, $20,000 per project. And this is still my first year of web design, and I still wasn't technically that good. I was actually building websites using templates and different software, so it's very easy to build these. I was just using a different strategy with a different mindset and a different approach. Now, just to share where I'm going with this story as well. So at this time, I was posting online. I was posting my journey at the beginning when it wasn't going so well, but also when it started going well, I started to post up how I was doing this so other people could get the same results and they could use this for themselves. So I made one post on Reddit. That's the post you're looking at right now. Web design only started in January this year, making 10K consistently every month. Lots of lessons, ask me anything. So I posted this up, started to go viral straight away. It was one of the top upvoted threads in the entrepreneur Reddit for a long, long time. And this got a lot of people using this approach. They were getting results. They were happy with what I was sharing, and this is working for them as well. So it was cool that I did that, and it helped a lot of people actually start switching up how they were doing it too. Another thread that I made is on the Fastlane forum, which is a forum I love and still use to this day. You guys should check out the Fastlane forum if you want. And this is how to learn how to code, start a web design company, 15K a month within 9 months. So this is in September of that year. So I'm 9 months into doing web design at this stage. And in this thread again, just sharing what was working, all these different things I was learning, how to do this, and just giving out as much value as I could. I wanted to help people who'd been stuck like me, because that stage sucks. And maybe you guys feel the same way where you're at right now. I just wanted to help show that there's a better way to do this. There's actually a way better strategy to selling websites. And if you change a couple of things, you could be making a lot more money in a shorter amount of time. Now, along with this, when I started these threads, they both went super viral, which is crazy. So I was commenting back as much as I could. It's hard to get to all the comments, and a lot of people started sending me messages, very specific questions like, hey, how do you price? How do you find these clients? How do you increase your prices? What do you say on the phone? What questions do you ask? How do you send a proposal? All these sort of things. So what I did along with these two threads is I made a YouTube channel, the Fox Web School YouTube channel, started a free Facebook group called Make Money with Web Design. I know it's not the most original name, but became one of the most popular group on Facebook for the strategy of selling websites, how to do it. There's like 12,000 members in there. And I even wrote a free book that became a bestseller on Amazon, as in it's been downloaded the most times in its category. And that is the $1 million web design guide. And that's got a ton of 5-star reviews and has also helped a lot of people. So why I mention this is not to brag. It is to show you that this approach that I'm using, I've been using it for quite a few years. I've taught a lot of people this approach. I've refined this approach. I've made it even better and better over the years. And I know that it works. It's worked for me. It's worked for other people. And I just want to set that context going into this so that you know you can trust this advice. It's very, very hard to take action on a plan when you don't know if it works. So I wanted to start this off with just showing you that this works. It's worked for a lot of people. It's been used over a lot of years in a lot of different countries. People with hardly any experience. Some people have even just started web design. Like after reading this, they've gone out there and very quickly started to get results, started to close profitable deals. So if you have any experience, if you're based anywhere with an internet connection, which is pretty much everywhere, you're going to be able to make this work if you can just understand what I'm going to put in this training here and cover. I'm going to do the best job possible to give you that information. So there's one last thing that I want to cover before we get into it. And that is when I mention money, because I know I've just brought it up a few times, like 20K a deal, 20K a month, 15K a month. I'm all about making money for sure. Every business should be profitable. That's good for you. It's good for your clients. It means you can stay in the game of business. It means you can enjoy a good life. It's good to run profitable businesses. But also, this isn't just about the money. I'm not a person who's like, it's all about the money, because when I worked in oil, everybody was like that. It was all about the money for them, but they never had a good quality of life. And these people were just working all the time and they weren't enjoying themselves. themselves. So this is about making money for sure, but it's also about using that money, having a goal with your money to improve your life, live healthy, enjoy yourself, travel, do fun things, take care of other people, have a fun business, work with cool people, do cool projects, all this sort of stuff. It's about quality of life. So when I'm speaking about money, I just bring it up because it's easier just to show a dollar amount and kind of show the results that way. But really what I'm talking about here is making lots of money, but then using that money to be a better person, have better quality of life, give back to others, help people, grow cool businesses, and enjoy yourself. So just want to make that clear to have that context. I think it is important. And with that out of the way, I think that covers everything. Let's get into the training basically. Okay, so into the training, let's get going. Hopefully that intro wasn't too long, and now we're going to jump into it, and I'm really going to give you as much value as I can in a short amount of time and show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So what we're going to cover is how to get profitable with web design, how to get out there and sell websites in the best way, make as much money as we can with a web design business, and do high value work for the people that we're helping. So this is win-win. We make money, but our clients also get great results that help their businesses. And that is a big part of it, and you'll see why as we go through this training. I just want to say again, I did say it in the intro, but this totally works if you're new to web design, or if you've been doing this for a little while but you've got stuck. That's totally fine. And actually it's better, because I've taught a lot of people, and the people who are newer, who haven't been doing it that long, they find it easier to change the way they're doing it and to use this approach that works so well. I find that people who've been doing it for a long time, they get stuck in their old habits. They don't want to change. They think it's the client's problem, and they're trying to force their way of doing it that just doesn't work anymore because things have changed in web design, and they don't get results. So if you're new to this, if you're just getting started, or if you've been going for a little while and you're stuck, that's actually an advantage. It means you're going to find it easier to switch over to this way of doing things, and then you can quickly get better results. Now, along with that, I got to bring up mindset at this stage before we jump in any further. So kind of what I just touched on there, this is a big part of why a lot of web designers don't do so well. Because when you look at a freelancing website, or you look at, let's say Upwork or Fiverr or these different places, a lot of web designers, I would say most web designers, are selling themselves at a very low price. So they're going out there and they're doing websites pretty much at like minimum wage, or even worse than minimum wage sometimes. So why I bring this up is these group of people, you have to avoid doing the actions that they're doing. You have to avoid thinking the way that they're thinking. You have to avoid their approach to web design, because it just doesn't work. If you copy what they're doing, if you think the same way, if you do the same things, if you're in the same places trying to get the same clients, none of them are making it work. They're all getting paid next to nothing. So why would you do the same things? Why would you think the same way? It's very, very important, if you want to get the best results, that you think in a different way. If you're copying the average group of people, you're going to get average results. So to get the best results, you have to see it a different way. There has to be a better way than average to get those better results. That's what I'm going to cover in this training. And I just want to again bring that up, because the mindset side of this is so important. If you try to stick with what everyone else has been doing that isn't working, of course you're not going to get the best results. Instead, if you can look at things and see what's the approach that the best people are using, what's the approach that the people who are making $40,000 a month with web design, what are they doing differently? How are they thinking differently? How are they approaching this differently? How are they selling differently? Then you can do it. But if you want the 40K a month, but you're doing what all the average people are doing, and you have the same mindset and you have the same actions, of course it's never going to happen. You can want one thing, but if you're thinking and doing things another way, it's not going to connect. So I want you to do super well with this. So I want you to think and act and have the same mindsets and the same approach as the people who do super well. And I know what that approach is, and that's what we're going to share. So let's jump straight into the first secret, or the first thing that you have to understand if you want to make this work. Okay, so the first secret kind of approach here, and I know that word sounds a little whatever, but the first thing that works with this approach that a lot of people don't know, so I guess that does make it a secret, is you got to change how you sell websites, and you got to change how you see websites. So the average group of web designers, the group that I was just referring to that we talked about earlier, that you want to avoid, when they look at a website and they think about selling a website and why would somebody buy a website and what are they doing when they build a website, they focus on the wrong things. They focus too much on what the website is. So they're focused on design, on code, on colors, on fonts, on latest trends, on cool little things that do something on the website. And, that's a part of the website, but it isn't really why anybody is buying a website. A business owner is not buying websites for what they look like and the design and all that stuff. They're primarily buying it. They're spending a lot of money. The people who do spend a lot of money, they're spending it on the result. They want this website to do something. They're not caring so much about the code and the design and the technical side of things. They're thinking about how to improve their business, to grow their business, and what that website can do for them. And this is a really key thing you got to get at this stage. And I'm going to explain it more in this training. You got to switch up how you sell a website and how you think about a website. And you got to think about what a business owner wants and what they're willing to pay a lot of money for. And we're going to get into that more. I'm going to break it down in a lot more detail. Okay, so to go more in depth with this, because I definitely want to make sure you get what I'm talking about here, we got to look at a consistent way to look at businesses. And this is another thing, and I don't want to throw this group of people under the bus, but I got to go back to the average web designers again here. Your average web designer is looking at each business and thinks that each business is totally different. So they look at one business over here, that business is making cookies, and this other business is building houses, and this other business is making parts for trains, and someone else is cutting hair, and someone else runs a pizza store. And they think all these different businesses are totally different. The way they see it, they think it's a million different niches, it's a million different industries, there's a billion different owners, and they have a billion different problems. Now, the problem with that is they're first off, they're just looking too close at it. It's like looking at, let's say we're looking at snow. If you look at snow very, very close, you're going to see the snowflake, and every snowflake looks totally different. So when you do that, it's very hard to have a consistent approach to how you're going to do things in your business, because you're so close to every business and you're looking at all the different parts that it's unique and it's special and it's different, that you don't see most of the parts which are actually the exact same. The business side of things, just the fact here is a lot of businesses run the same way. They got very similar problems on the business side of things. And if we can look at it that way, we're going to have a consistent way to sell websites. If you look at every business as being different and unique and completely different to every other business, you're going to have really a lot of problems trying to sell websites, because every time you go to a new business, you're going to be completely confused as to what to do next, because you see each business different. But if you can see each business the same, it's very easy to sell websites, because you'll know the consistent problems that business owners have, the consistent pain points, and the motivation that a lot of them have to spend a lot of money on websites. If you can get on the right areas and focus on the right things, then it's very, very easy to be able to sell websites in a high price, because it lines up with what these business owners want. Now, I might be jumping ahead a little, so let's slow this down and let me break that down in more detail. Okay, so to get even more in depth on this and to really explain what I've just been saying so it's as clear as possible and so you can use it straight away to sell websites the best way possible, I want to look at the structure of a business. And I know this isn't exactly web design, but you're going to see in a few minutes why this matters so much to selling websites at a high price. So if you look at any business, no matter what they do, so let's say they make Coca-Cola, or they're building houses, or they're selling trains, whatever it is, that's the core of their business. That's what they do in their business. And I know that sounds very obvious, but just give me a moment to show you the whole thing here. So a construction company, they do construction. A dentist, they clean teeth. Someone who cuts hair, they cut the hair. Someone who makes pizza, they bake the pizza. Now, the thing is, when somebody hires a web designer, any business hires a web designer, they're never obviously hiring us to do the main thing, the core of their business. So if a construction company hires us as a web designer, we're not going to be down on the construction site hammering nails and cutting wood. If Coca-Cola hires us to help out their business as a web designer, we're not going to be in the factory making Coca-Cola or driving the truck delivering Coca-Cola. So within every business, no matter what they do, there's always their core business. That's the main thing that they do, and it's either a service or a product. So if they sell something, that's a product. If they do something, that's a service. So there's either a service or a product. Doesn't matter whatever the business is, but it doesn't really matter so much. And that is the unique part of a business. Every business does separate things, but that's never what they're going to hire us for as web designers. We're never working in the core of their business. We're working on these other parts in the business that are actually nearly always the same. So this is a key concept to get. If you're a web designer and you're selling websites, it's never going to be about their actual core part of the business. That's what they do. That's what these people are trained to do. They have a team that does it, or they do it themselves. They're qualified. They have experience. They work in the core of their business. When they hire people like us as a web designer, they want us to work on the other parts of the business that are separate to this core thing. Now, what are the other parts of the business? There's a few of them, but there's 4 main ones that are the most important. And these are key key for selling websites in a high price way. The first one is marketing. So you take the core of any business, doesn't matter whatever they do, they have to market themselves. They have to go out there. It doesn't matter how good they are. They have to go out there and show people that they exist. If they a dentist and they do teeth, because that's just a simple example, it doesn't matter how good of a dentist they are. If nobody knows that they exist, if they don't know that they're dentists and where they're based and their opening hours and that they actually even have a dentist business in the first place, they're not going to have any customers. If they don't have any customers, they're not going to make any money. So whatever someone's business is, if it's a service, if it's a product, there's a billion different things they could do. There's a lot of different industries and different niches, but every one of those, doesn't matter whatever they do, they have to have marketing. If they don't have marketing, people don't know they exist. If they don't know they exist, they're not going to have any customers. They're not going to have any clients. They're not going to make any new money, and they're very quickly going to be out of business. So they always have to have marketing, and that is the first key thing that every business has to have. Now, the second one is they have to have sales. If they have marketing and people now know that they exist, okay, that's the first problem solved, but they got to get their money. They got to turn that person who now knows that they exist into a paying customer, into a paying client, into somebody who's using their business or they're hiring them or whatever it is that these people do. So they have to have sales. They have to have a way to consistently turn the interest that they have. So marketing is getting visible. It's people knowing you are there as a business. They can see the business exists. They can find it. They can get a little bit of information. Sales is now turning that interest into a paying customer. It's getting people to take action, to hire this business, whatever people need or want that this business has, that they were searching for in the first place. Sales is getting that person into being a customer. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. There's a lot of different ways to market and sell, and we'll get into that later. But it's just these key concepts, seeing that every business, no matter what the core of its business is, and there's a lot of different things that it can be, they have to market and they have to sell. If they don't, people won't know that they exist. You know, obviously if they don't know they exist, then they can't sell to them in the first place. But even when they do know that they exist, they still have to sell to them or they're not going to become customers. I'm sure you've seen this where you want something, you search online for different businesses and there's lots of different options. So that's the marketing that you found them in the first place. But now it's the sales. Which one of those businesses do you give your money to and do you decide to work with? The business that does that the best makes the most money. They stay in business. The other businesses that don't do that well, they lose money. They go out of business. So marketing and sales, the two key things, and there's two more, but the first two key things that every business needs. All right, so we got two more left if we want to understand how businesses make money, and this is definitely going to connect web design at the end, and you're going to see why that is very shortly. The third one, okay, we've covered marketing, we've covered sales. That's about how to get a customer into the business. Now the next area is support. Support and basically service is what I'm talking about here as well. It's really, really key. So sales and marketing, you get a customer in, but if you have a bad experience, if that customer comes in and they don't have a good time, they feel like this business did not do a good job, it wasn't worth the money, that this business is, you know, a scam, or they're just not up to the service they were expecting, then that person goes out there and they damage that business. They start telling everybody, no, I don't mean physically damage the business, but they're going out there and they're telling everybody, I didn't have a good time in this business. This business isn't good. And they're leaving 1-star reviews. They're posting negatively about it on Instagram or on Twitter. They're sharing all this stuff on their Facebook page. They're running around the place online and offline, telling everybody stay away from this business. So any business that doesn't have good support, that doesn't give their customers a good experience, they're not going to be in business for long, and they're going to cause a lot of damage to their brand and their reputation. On the flip side, when a business does have good support, when people work with this business and they can see, oh, when I send an email, I get a reply very fast. When I book in online, it's super easy and they made it fun. When I ask them for more information about this, they send me to this page that has all the information I need. There's guides, there's instructions, there's tutorial videos, whatever it is. When people have that good support, then they feel like, whoa, this business did a great job. I'm really happy I picked this business. I love this business. They got me the results that I wanted. And then that person does the opposite thing to the bad, experienced person. They go around online and they start telling everybody, this business is amazing. I love this business. You got to use this business. Here's a 5-star review. Here's a YouTube video I made about how fun this is. So it's either a massive plus or it's a massive minus when you have good support or bad support. So every business needs sales and marketing. And once they have those things in place, they need really good support. They need to give great service and have things running in a way that just people are happy and they're spreading the word, and that's bringing in more customers, more sales. It's improving the marketing and it's improving the sales, of course. Now, the fourth thing, when all of these are in place, and I kind of just hinted on it a little bit a second ago, is you need great systems. So when you have marketing in place, you have sales in place, you got support in place, your business is growing. What does that mean? You need everything to run reliable, consistent. It needs to work every time. You need to have these same great experiences for everyone. Now, if you think of McDonald's, why are they such a big burger chain, a big burger franchise? Are their burgers the most tastiest? No, definitely not. But it runs so reliable. You can go to McDonald's in any country, in any city. You know what you're getting. You know it's going to be the same level of service. You know they do a good job. It's fast. You get what you want and you're out the door. That's how good systems work. That's why businesses need good systems. When you go to a place and you're waiting, or it's, you send an email, you never get a reply, you fill out a booking form and nothing happens, or something's broken, straight away you have a bad experience and you're not even working with the business yet. So good systems need to work to keep everything else in order, especially as the business grows or a business wants to grow. They got to have the systems there to make sure that growth is sustainable and that it can keep going. If they don't have good systems, it all falls apart and their current customers very quickly leave them and they're not getting any new customers whatsoever. All right, so we covered a lot of different things there with what a business needs on top of their core service or product, all these different things that they need to survive, to be making money, to continue to grow, to literally just continue to be in the game of business. Now, why did I bring this up? Is this, general business training? No, this is training on how to sell websites in a high price way, but we got to understand this to sell websites in a high price way. And really this is the key on how you do it. So back to our average web designers who we talked about at the beginning, they sell websites in the wrong way. They focus on colors, on fonts, on designs, what way they're building the website. Oh, I use, WordPress or whatever it is. That doesn't connect to the business owner. They don't care about that. They're not going to spend much money on that. It doesn't matter to them because that's not the main areas they're thinking about. Business owners are always thinking about these 4 areas that we talked about. They're thinking about how to get more people to know about their business. That's marketing. They're knowing how to sell more people. That's obviously sales. How to give a better experience to all their customers. That is support. And how to keep the show running and make sure it's all running smoothly and it's as easy as possible to manage. That is systems. Now, when you can come in and you can sell a website and show, and I'm going to talk about this in a few seconds, but show, hey, a website is perfect for helping you with marketing, for helping you with sales, for helping you with support, for helping you with systems. When you can do that, now your website is worth 100 times more than other web designers. Even though you're building technically the same kind of thing, you're selling it in a different way, in a way that business owners understand and they value a lot more, and they see that this is something that they should spend money on. Hey, I see you have a problem in marketing and you want more customers to know about your business. I'm going to take care of that. Hey, I see you need to get more sales and you want to get these certain type of clients that you're not getting right now. I can take care of that. Oh, I see you want to improve your customer experience and have better systems and have a business that's easier to run and less stressful for you. I can take care of that. So you can see the point here that when you sell websites in that way, it's way more valuable. This is a different mindset. It's a different way to think about websites, and it is a way that sells websites 100 times better than what everyone else is doing. Now, just to cover this, can a website help with marketing? Can it help with sales? Can it help with support? Can it help with systems? Massively. All 4 areas, websites are one of the best ways to do it. So you want to market a business. As a business, what does marketing mean? You want to be more visible and you want people to know that this is the right business for whatever they need or want. So can a website help a business be more visible? Yes. SEO, ads. You can connect the website to social media. You can connect it to billboards. You can connect it to offline ads. You can put it on a brochure or a pamphlet, the URL. You can have it on the side of all the company cars driving around the place. There's a lot of different ways that you can put a website out there so that when people are wondering, what business should I go to for this problem or for this thing that they want, the website is there and they can see it and they can get on that website and that they can see that this is the business that they should be working for. On the flip side, imagine trying to improve marketing in a business and you don't have a good website or you don't have any website. Of course, your marketing is not going to be as good as it could be. So websites take care of marketing and they're one of the best ways to do it. Now, sales. Can a website help with sales? Yes. A website, when done correctly, is a selling machine. It's probably one of the best ways to sell because it's consistent, it's reliable, it does the same good sales job every time. When you build a website the right way and it's focusing on these things, it's not just focusing on colors and fonts for no reason. It's focusing on, okay, these people are coming on the website, they want these different things. How do we get them to take action? And what actions are we going to get them to take? Are we going to get them to ring a phone number, use a booking form, use a contact form, download a free lead magnet, or fill out this, whatever it is? There's so many different ways that a website can take somebody who's mildly interested or who's looking for the right business, the right product, the right service, and the website can get that person through different content, through different images, through different parts of the website, videos, whatever it is. It can get that person to want to work with this business. They want to spend money with this business, and you've created that sale. You've built up that sale using the website. So a website website, when it focuses on these things, can be a massively powerful sales tool for any business. And that makes it extremely valuable when you sell it in that way to a business. Now, support and systems, because those two kind of go hand in hand as well. Can a website help with those? 100% massively. And I know I sound like I'm repeating myself here, but I do want to drive the point home. A website is systems, basically, for a lot of business. It's a way you can be consistent, reliable, and you can do the same good thing every time, give the same great experience every time. There's so many different things that you can easily put into a website to build amazing support and amazing systems. And the website can be the start of systems in a lot of business, and it can allow them to continue to grow, to run things way easier, way less stress for them, and they're making more money with less time and less effort, and they're way more happier as a business owner. Also with support, it can give customers what they want, and it can be a really good foundation for a great customer experience. The right information, you can have guides, instructions, everything they're looking for. You can have them feeling great about the business before they even show up and actually use this business in person. You can set the tone, you can set the expectation, you can build the brand, you can build that feel of a business that's so important when it comes to support and a good experience. And that can all start with the website, and it can continue through the website. So before the sale, during the sale, after the sale, the website can be there to support people and to have the best experience possible with the best systems possible. And just overall, this business is doing a good job because their website is supporting what they're trying to do. So to put all of this into an actionable thing that you could take away today, an actionable guide or just a way of thinking that you can now switch up your business, you can start making more money, you can start selling websites in a high price, I want to give you some takeaway points. The first one, the most crucial one, is start changing the way that you see web design, that you see websites. So if you're somebody watching this, you're most likely interested in selling websites, or you already are, you need to change how you sell them. Stop focusing on colors, design, fonts, all the surface level things when it comes to a website, and instead think about what can the website be doing for this business? What results can it get them? What problems can it solve? How can it help with marketing, with sales, with support, with systems? And how can you talk about that and sell it in that way to a business owner? The second part of this is you have to start understanding the business owner's perspective more and just better, basically. A lot of web designers, they think as web designers, they think it's a world of web designers. It's not. You understand web design, or you're understanding web design more and more as you get into this. But business owners, they don't. They're not web designers, they're business owners. They run their core part of the business, whatever it is that they do. And on top of that, they understand these different things that we talked about. They understand that they have to market, that they have to sell, that they got to give good support, and they got to give good systems. They might think about it in different ways and use different words, but those are the key areas of the business that they care about, that they're interested in, and that is their world, and that's what matters to them. Now, when you come into that world and you start talking too much about all the technical side of web design and how fast a page loads and on what system you made it and all these different things, honestly, they don't care. No offense. That doesn't matter to them, and it doesn't connect to them in their world. And imagine some person who's running a construction company and you're trying to tell them about the latest update of WordPress. Like, that's how you're trying to sell your website. It doesn't matter to them. It just doesn't, basically. They're thinking, how do I get more construction clients? How do I sell this next big construction project? How do I make a better experience for the people who are already working with this business? How do I give support to people when they want to contact me when there's a problem? These sort of things. That's the level they're thinking at. And you got to bring how you're selling websites and how you understand websites and how you talk to business owners. You got to reach them at the level they're at. You got to understand the world of a business owner. If you don't, you're just not going to sell that well. You might get one or two deals, but overall, you're not going to be selling as well as you could. You're going to be selling at lower prices, and you're going to find it very, very hard to close deals. Instead, when you sell in this way, when you understand the world of a business owner, you can make a lot of progress in a short amount of time. And it doesn't even matter if you're not experienced, if you're just starting web design. If you sell it in the right way and you talk about it in the right way, and you understand business owners, very, very quickly, you can see huge results. You can go literally into the thousands of dollars per project in just a couple of weeks or just a couple of months, because you're thinking about it in the right way and you're selling it in the right way. Now, this brings me to my third point. You need to learn to sell websites in the right way. So I think this free training has done a good job, hopefully you will agree, of making you think about this whole thing with web design in a different way, rethinking your strategy, rethinking your mindset, what you're focusing on, and why websites can matter so much to a business, and the different ways that you want to avoid when you try and sell a website. But you got to learn to sell it in the right way. There is a certain way to go out there and to start going through a process with business owners where you tell them about these these different things, you find out what they need, and you start connecting the dots. You start showing business owners, hey, you have a problem over here. That's a marketing problem. I can help with that over here with the website because we can do these certain things that are going to improve your marketing. Or, oh, you have a sales problem? Well, let me show you how a website can help with sales. Or you need support in system. You need to improve these certain things that you're mentioning. You want to do a better job for these sort of people. Okay, we can do that with the website over here by doing these certain things. And that is a sales process. That is a way of selling websites. So if you understand the mindset, what we've been covering in this so far in this video, and then you crack the sales side of things, your growth and your prices and your progress with web design is going to explode. If you can sell in the right way, understand it in the right way, that's pretty much the battle won. All you got to do then is download some basic Teams or templates, set up a website nice and fast, put in the right content now that you understand what you're trying to do in the first place, put in the systems, build it with a bit of a plan, and now you have a great website that's massively going to help. So people don't need a better looking website. They need a website that actually does something, and it does something when you think about it in the right way and you sell it in the right way. Okay, so we're pretty much at the end of the training here. What I want to do is just map out one last thing, and that is the two different choices that you have at this stage. First choice, take what I just taught you, which I think is amazing, valuable advice. It is the best way to approach web design. And basically you go out there and you try apply this by yourself. If you do, you're going to definitely have to put in a little bit of work. What we covered is the mindset side of things, which is where you got to start, but you now have to get into learning how to sell this way, the strategies, and building up your business in the right way. So I do hope that this is a useful way to start that. But yeah, that is choice number one. Now, choice number two is a little bit different, and that is you allow me to help you some more. So I really think that what I gave you today is a high value way to start. It is the best strategy, but I know from teaching a lot of people that that isn't enough. Now, the problem is I can't put everything that you need to know in a training video like this. I can only show you what you need to know to be starting down the right path, but to continue down the path and actually get results, you need a bit more. And again, I've taught a lot of people, I've seen this, and I know from doing free content on YouTube versus actually working with people hands-on and training them personally, that people get different results. Free content only goes so far. Proper courses or a paid approach or a structured approach, people commit, they get better results, they get the feedback they need, they get the support they need, they get the answers they need, and they get proper training. So if you're interested, I have the Legends program. This is a program I've run for the last few years. It's been around for a long time, proven to work. We have many 5-star reviews. We have hundreds of students. A lot of people have said that this has helped them in a big way. The community is still super active. Now, what exactly is it? It's a proven, tested system to show you how to sell websites in a high value way and basically make profit web design, run a profitable web design business. We do that by covering mindset, sales skills, business skills, web design strategy, and everything else that you need to know to succeed with this. So if you are interested in this, I want to help you more. And I think that this is a very easy way for you to do this. And you might be thinking at this stage, you know, a full training program, all these different things, that this is going to be like $10,000 or something. And a lot of people have told me to sell this at a higher price, but it isn't $10,000. For the first while that I ran this, I ran it at $2,000, more than a fair enough price. Even a lot of people thought that that was a crazy price, like crazy low price. Because the value, keep in mind, you get in this, I show you how to sell a website within a couple of weeks, a month or two, you're already making that money back straight away. And then after that, it's just pure profit, basically. So it's very easy to get your money out of this once you put this into action. But anyway, I was selling this at $2,000 for the longest time, but a lot of people want to join this, but they don't have the $2,000 upfront. So what I've now done is it's $95 a month, and it's a subscription plan. What that means is you can join, go through all the content in the first month, all the training material, the bonus courses, download all the templates, use all the free guides we have, all these different things, do everything you want in the first month. There's full access to everything. I'm not hiding anything. I want you to go in and do everything that you can the first month. So what I recommend is you join today, $95, totally risk-free. There's no commitment here. You don't have to stick around if you don't want to, and you have full access to everything. As I said, you can go through all the training content. You can jump on the live calls. You have them every month. You can jump on the guest calls. You can jump in the community, ask whatever you want in the first month, and just get into this program. I know it works, and the only way I can do this deal basically is because I know that it works. I couldn't run this if everybody joined and then they just quit a month later, but I know that people stick around because this is a high value community with great people, and the people in here get massive results. So I want to help you with websites. I know this is the best action for you to take because you're going to need some help. You're going to need your questions answered. You're going to need feedback. You're going to need support. You're going to need a proper training system, and you're going to need a proper sales process to connect what it is that we're talking about here today. So I would love to see you in there. I've made it as easy as possible for you to do this. I've tried to remove all risk. I've tried to make the price as low as I can up front, and the value as much as possible. So I recommend you join, jump in there, see what you think for a month, give this a go, and I promise I'm going to help you get massive results. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the community. All you got to do is click on the link, check out the details, and see if it's the right move for you. So thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best.